You got the time?
I do. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. You know what that means. It's time for another DIS Unlimited happy hour.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another DIS Unlimited happy hour. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Hannah, for having it with me.
Oh, thank you. I'm ready to have fun.
Now, we are in the studio recording this, and you're like, wait a minute. I thought you're supposed to be out at the bars and the lounges recording
this.
Yeah, this is the office. Well, you can have fun in an office, too. But really, it was because today we're going to be talking about one that we've had on our radar for a while, Enchanted Rose, So Hannah and I went there, but here's the thing. So part of our reviews when we go out to these lounges and bars is what's the vibe, right?
Yeah.
And when we were there, we got...
Yeah, what was your vibe, Ryno?
What was my vibe? It was a Tuesday night. It was... It was... we got sat at the bar. And it was
very loud.
Yeah, and it was a little bit of an awkward place to be like, we'll do the review right here. But because we also were doing this before we had to go and do something else, we were like, we didn't want to be picky and be like, can we get seated over here at a table or somewhere else? So
and we wanted I feel like that's a good, honest experience of what happened or what can happen. So
yeah. So I guess we'll start right there with what do you think overall thoughts about about Enchanted Rose?
You know her. Yeah. You might love her. I've been a couple times.
Were you enchanted?
I was not.
The Disenchanted Rose.
Yeah, spoiler alert. This is the part in the movie where it's like shriveled up and Belle's like, I'm out of here, beast. Yeah. Maybe I will marry Gaston. So I've been a couple times, but it's been a while. And honestly, my experiences have kind of been lackluster, which is a bummer because it is a big space. It's beautiful. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie.
Is it?
I don't know if I've ever revealed that here. So it has all the makings of, something I would love. Plus, if you didn't know, I'm Martini Mom, and they got a whole martini section there. But the drinks are a little expensive. They're a little crazy, too. Some of the ingredients are a little wild. And the Green Floridians, I'm going to be honest, it's not really my vibe. It's not really where I'm hanging out.
No, I don't mean it as a knock to anybody who loves it. Because in my head, when we are there, when I am in the Grand Floridian, I am like, mentally, this is where I'm like, as somebody who grew up in a lower class, it's like, oh, this is kind of that very romanticized version of what I imagine being rich is like. I guess.
You have to pull out your monocle stuff in there.
That's so I'm often sometimes a little intimidated by it. There's no denying I think there is an element of elegance at the Grand Floridian, and that does absolutely continue into the makings of Enchanted Rose. Like it is the space it occupies is very pretty. It is better than what was there before.
Oh, absolutely.
I cannot remember the name of that bar before.
I can't either.
Am I making that up?
That's the name of the quick service. It might have been the name of the bar too, but there was just like a lobby bar up there, and then part of that space was also a gift shop. So they expanded the lounge, but it's right there on the same level as Citricos and Victorian Albert's. And so we did see a couple of guests that were there having pre-dinner cocktails. And so, dressed a little bit nicer than maybe I was. Yeah. You were dressed nice, not me.
I just had a Roosevelt shirt on.
You had a collared shirt. On.
Yeah, well, with Old Navy running shorts, because that's what I've become here in Orlando, Florida.
Listen.
But, it's a very nice, it's a very classy space. I feel like it's got these really nice marble countertops. It's got a really unique chandelier and light fixtures. There are odes and nods to, unfortunately, the live action Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, not my fave.
Which is fine, whatever. It's not my favorite at all.
It's not fine, actually.
It's not. Well, my most disliked video I've ever done was my review of Beauty and the Beast when I said how bad it was, and people were just not having it.
Okay, we won't.
Years later, people finally agree with me, but it's fine.
Like me.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know that chandelier in there is supposed to look like Belle's dress where we sat? The yellow tiered one. Yeah. It looks more like her live action.
Her bodice dress?
No, the bottom of her dress because it's got the layers of the
So you're supposed to look up the chandelier?
Yes, you're supposed to sit and look up her skirt. That's right. It's why it's for adults, guys. Disney After Dark.
Does he After Dark? Well, I can't say, I feel like I've got no negative comments to say about the actual, like, what it looks like in there. I think what it sets out to do, it succeeds in terms of, like, being a very nice space that does fit into the Grand Floridian. And the Grand Floridian absolutely deserves a really nice lobby bar. I think every resort, every hotel at Walt Disney World should have a bar that fits within its theme. That people on vacation. Yeah. I don't want to yell like Bruce Willis in Die Hard. I'm on vacation. But it's nice. You can get yourself a bottle of Dom Perignon in here. Did you see it on display?
I did see that. Yeah, you can get some fancy stuff. You can also get real champagne.
From France.
From France.
I got real deep. It just sounded like a burp. I'm sorry.
A little bit of phlegm there. So it's fancy. Do you want to talk about our experience? I
do.
Showing up and,
So we were there day one, apparently, without realizing it, that they now have they utilize the My Disney Experience app for a join the walk-up list. But the weird part for us is the restaurant was the lounge was empty, and they made us go through the whole process. And then we literally, the second my name was entered, I got a text. So it was like, why not just seat me?
Where did we sit? We sat at the bar. After
and
going
there were
through
empty
that process.
tables too.
Yeah.
That's the part that was kind of like, okay.
This
and
is
they weren't like, is this okay? They were just like, this is where you're going to be.
Yeah, this is where
you are sitting here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't love that process, to be honest. The only thing I could, I don't know, because there's so many seats there, and there's an outdoor seating area. There's
which I didn't know about till you told me.
Yeah, the first time I went, that's actually where I sat. So there's enough seats in there. I appreciate some organization, but for us to end up at the bar was not great.
I do have to say it's a little bit weird of a setup, and you said earlier about it being like a gift shop. It used to be, it's part of an expanded gift shop. They didn't connect the two rooms. So there's a living room area that has like a big fireplace in it that has like that's where you'll find Mrs. Potts, Cogsworth, Lumiere's over there. And then there's the bar area, which I feel like sometimes it's hard because you're like, oh, I can't just like flag someone down or something like that, So there's a little bit of that disconnect, which was a little weird to me. So it's basically like, I guess then there's like 4 stations because you could be at the bar, the tables that are in that bar. There was like a little side room to that.
I'm going to call that the Enchanted Forest, maybe, because it
did have pictures of the forest.
I'm going to say that. It had like dark green and things like that.
Their light fixture was like branches, which was cool.
It was cool.
Yeah,
we like that. Yeah.
And then there was the patio, and so I guess there's like, and then the dining room, and that's what I was thinking. So, but yeah, go ahead, go on with your bad self. So we didn't already, that already put us off, right?
Yeah, right. And it was fine. There's 2 of us. Like, I actually like sitting at the bar, but not for this kind of occasion. And then we also saw there was another couple who just like walked up to the bar because that's normally how it goes. So they didn't have to go through the whole little app process. So I don't know. Another thing that disappointed me that's kind of unrelated is I actually really like the bar at Citricos, which is right down the hallway, and they weren't open that day.
I know. Monday and Tuesdays, apparently.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a temporary thing or COVID holdback. Also on that subject, just while I'm airing my grievances, the fact that they haven't opened, and I forget the name, the tea room downstairs, that has not come back yet.
Oh.
Post-COVID. Think about it.
That's years.
And you know what? Honestly, to me, I feel like they almost should do a flip-flop, and the room upstairs with like the fireplace and the nods to Beauty and the Beast, that should be a tea room.
Yeah.
And downstairs should be another flex bar space, because when they have the gingerbread house, it's like you're down there and you're getting your treats and stuff. Like, wouldn't it be nice to be able to get like a hot chocolate or
and the piano
whatever.
player's down there too. So it's like you can enjoy some of the tunes and the vibes and everything.
So missed opportunity. But
well, so we sat at the bar.
We're there. We're seated.
And I do feel like, and I agree, Hannah said it to me before I even said anything out loud. And I was already thinking it, where I was like, I don't think our bartender likes us. But we didn't, it's not, I didn't pull out any cameras or anything like that until after our drinks had come out or anything. So I was already like, it wasn't bad service by any means, but it wasn't it kind of wasn't the experience I thought we were going to get from this. Like, also, we should talk about. Sorry, I feel like we should talk about the fact that you can't just come into the Enchanted Rose. Like, you're going to have to go park at TTC and ride a monorail over, or or get there some other way, or have a reservation to one of the other restaurants, or have been wherever. So it's not. I've always had this like hold up, and I get it. Grand Floridian has no parking, so there's nowhere to like park.
Yeah, but that's brutal because even if you do have a dining reservation, you're not even parking in this main lot. You're parking across the street and then either taking a golf cart or using the crosswalk. So it's not an easy one to get to. So I did see some people in there that were doing a monorail crawl. So I guess if you were doing that, like maybe you stop the Contemporary and the Poly or whatever. So yeah, it's not easy to get to. So that's, also why I don't go there.
I just really wish like they would do what Disneyland does for their hotels, or what Universal Studios is doing here in Orlando, where it's like, this is the price to park in this garage. If you spend this amount of money at the hotel, then you get validated. Yeah. And that's, to a certain point. And it's like, okay.
Because you do, like this happens all the time as a local, where you kind of get beat up over the parking process. And I have said a million times, I love the Polynesian. I love Trader Sam's. And I'll be like, I'm going to Trader Sam's for real. I'm going to Trader Sam's. Yeah. And they're like giving me grief. And Trader Sam's, not for nothing, is a $20 drink, a $20 sushi roll, whatever. So I'm spending $100+. You're like, oh, okay, never mind. I'll just park at the TTC and hoof it over. So,
well,
grievances aside.
Yeah, we did. So we each got a drink.
We did.
And Hannah, what did you settle on?
Mine really makes sense now. I went with the floral bitter beauty. And this is $18 and is made with Hendrick's gin. So it's pretty good stuff. Saint Germain elderflower liqueur, Campari liqueur, and Aperol liqueur, lemon and soda. It came out in kind of like a highball type glass, and it, to me, looking at the ingredients, it kind of had a lot going on with it, because it had the Aperol and it had elderflower and the gin, and it was a layered cocktail. So thankfully I noticed that, because it was all just like pretty good amount of soda sitting on top. It kind of tasted like lemonade to me. Yeah. It wasn't quite as complex as I was hoping. And I'm assuming the bitter would be kind of coming from the Aperol, and like I didn't get much Aperol, and you can see it in the picture. Like I don't think the color is the same. So I guess I was feeling bitter.
Well, I had a sip of your drink, and that's what I was surprised about, is that there were two different bitter liqueurs in there, and neither of them
came through.
Yeah. And that, especially like when it's Aperol and
Campari.
Campari, because I'm like, those are pretty bitter.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It all came through like a little too light for me. I mean, I love gin drinks too, just like you. Mm-hmm. And I didn't.
We got that in common.
I wasn't like, oh, I like gin. I taste the gin. Oh, no, I taste because I drink Hendrick's gin. I know what that tastes like.
A little bit more floral. Than other gins. So even that component, like the floral from the Hendrick's and the elderflower, like I didn't get that either. I got mostly lemon.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And I will say my beef with this place used to be, it's an $18 cocktail. I think it may be, like I said, this is just some weird bias I have. I feel like when this restaurant first opened, maybe other cocktails weren't $18 and now they are. Like the prices have leveled up to match that, because, I mean, that's kind of on par for a signature drink at Disney. So
I do agree with you. It definitely has, like, that price has gone up for like the average cocktail. It's sitting in that weird 16 to 18, or you find it more often than not 18 now.
Yeah, like a sit down resort bar, I guess. But tell us about your bevy.
Well, I got the Garden Daisy, which is Don Julio Reposado tequila, Midori liqueur, lime, and cucumber for $20, and it does contain pasteurized egg whites in it. I thought this actually, I wanted to try something different. Midori was the first liquor I ever drank. Well, it's not true. Not first one I ever drank, but
really?
It was the first
That's
one Yeah. Well, I didn't know how to order drinks when I turned 21, and so I'd be like, a Midori sour, please.
Wow.
You know what? You don't want to throw up Midori sour. You know what? I'm looking at the menu right now and the pictures, and literally next to some of the drinks, they have the vessel they're served in, which I like when menus do that.
Yeah.
Mine shows a rocks glass with the ball of ice
sphere,
in it.
Yeah.
That is not how mine was served. Mine was definitely, and that's fine because I think a daisy, which is a type of drink normally, is served in like a coupe. And I don't know if I just like saw the picture and was thrown off by it. Mine was fine. It was just like it wasn't 18. What did I say? It was $20. Yeah,
Yours was more than mine.
It wasn't $20. It wasn't. And I'm not quantity versus quality. I didn't feel like the quality was there. I've been to. I feel like I'm at that age now. I've been to dive bars and I've been to fancier bars and I've been to cocktail bars and I've been to distilleries and breweries and all these things across the map.
I've got friends in low places.
I got friends. Yeah, I feel like I was on my way to a musical number.
Yes.
But I just don't feel like. I don't feel like all the flavors hit. Again, I do feel like it was like a little too much of the like the citrus. Like I don't know. Maybe it was too much lime in it or something. I really didn't get a lot of the cucumber, and I feel like when you use cucumber, it's a little bit delicate because it's not. It takes a lot to be a little more overpowering. But cucumber with lime, Midori, and then tequila, like I don't know. It was fine. It had a little bit of like a sugar rim with some stuff on the side, which was nice. But $20, it was not. I'm gonna use an example. I went to a restaurant that was by UCF this last weekend because it was the end of Magical Dining Month here in Orlando.
You went?
Yeah, and so I finally went, and it wasn't included in the dining, but they had a barrel-aged old fashioned at this restaurant, and it was like $18. And I tried it, and it comes out. And if anyone knows, an old fashioned is usually about 2 ounces of tequila, about an ounce of simple and
tequila,
not tequila, bourbon.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
I was like, what?
Stop me in my tracks.
Are you making a margarita over there?
Yeah, the bitters, and then I use like a half ounce to a quarter ounce of simple, but so it doesn't, in a glass, it's about half of the glass, half of a rocks glass, right? So sometimes people will be like, oh my God, the drink, but versus the quantity. But you take one sip of this, I was like, this drink was worth. Like this drink was worth this price. It was very good, and it was it was a little more unique because the drink was made and then like aged, I think, which was interesting. But so like I am somebody who's like, I'm not trying to be cheap, but this is one of those drinks where I think with those ingredients you'd make that a lot cheaper. There's definitely an increase in the price. Would not recommend it. We did get a food item because, like I said, whenever we go to try and do these lounge and bar reviews, if the lounge or the bar serve food, we try at least one food item. I let Hannah pick.
Fries for guys. So we we got the truffle fries, and
which we always will when they're on a menu.
Yeah, always. That's like ultimate girl dinner is like for me. Caesar salad, wedge salad, truffle fries, and espresso martini.
Ooh,
call me.
That's fancy.
Yeah. So these are house-made truffle fries, and they are served with truffle aioli, which was bomb.com, and it was $14.50.
I think you and I both had the same reaction when they set them out on the counter in this tiny little cup, and we were like, oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that an appetizer for our truffle fries?
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like a plate. Like a, you know what I mean? Like a nice plate, like layered or something.
Also, this is dumb, but like the ceramic thing that it was in did not match the restaurant.
No.
At all. And obviously they walk it over, I think, from Citricos, but it was just weird. Like it showed up and I was like, is that for us?
And they didn't give us any plates. They set it down.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, I'll grab you some napkins and forks. And I want to be like, what about a plate? Like there's aged Parmesan.
They're like, don't worry, there's not enough for a plate. Yeah, you will not need a plate.
It was the admission of that exact thing where it was like, don't be foolish. You can eat these all out of this tiny little cup.
Yeah, I just hoovered them. I didn't even. Yeah, I think you got two.
I mean, they were good. I mean, they had a nice strong truffle. I like the aioli. You know what? The aioli was better than the fries. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were a little soft.
Talk about it.
They were a little soft. They were a little soft. And you know what? Actually, the first couple when we were eating them, I was like, some of these taste burned.
Yeah.
They had that
burnt oil.
Yeah, the burnt oil flavor. Exactly. Yeah. The old fryer flavor.
They were limp fries.
Oh, that's true. Because I said to you, I forgot, and it'll be in the video, is I was like, dip one of those fries for me. And she dipped the fry, hit it. And immediately like went whoop.
Yeah. I mean, the aioli was fantastic. So I would be tempted. I honestly, I mean, I wouldn't order them again, but if I were hungry, I'd probably do it.
All right. Well, so now we get to the thing. Would you recommend this bar? Okay. Okay. Well, and thank you everybody for joining us. I agree, though. I think it's a solid.
Dreams Unlimited Travel will book you to go, but
I think you're on the monorail track. You also spoke highly of the Citrus Lounge, so we'll have to check that out when it's open. But I think there are much better bang for your bucks, more unique options, and literally better quality and things to try on that monorail track. So just a couple more minutes away. So I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, not for me. Yeah. I think Enchanted Rose is if you are, I don't know, going to dinner there and you're looking for the lobby bar.
I think even then I'd be like, just wait for dinner.
I'd be like, I'm just going to Instacart some gin to my room.
Yeah. You know when you're
all right, now
not
you know
classy enough to stay at that resort.
I got friends in low places.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what we mostly can say. We're going to have to do more of those around the loop so we can say, why would you be going here when you can go here? And then I think we'll look back and maybe try and rate them, like where they all sit and stuff, and do a little bit more in depth with that for people who are staying on that monorail track. But you heard it here. Hannah and I do not recommend. We think it's the Disenchanted Rose. Yeah, I said it.
Beast is staying a beast forever.
Yeah.
Okay? Sorry.
This is definitely a pass for us. So that's it. Thanks for joining us for this Dis Unlimited happy hour. Don't forget about Dreams Unlimited Travel when booking your next Disney vacation. And a big shout out again to our Patreon supporters. We couldn't do this without you. If you like this video, thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And please leave us some comments where you'd like to see us go next. That is going to do it for us. I don't have like a...
Stay thirsty.
I should have said stay thirsty. I should have said cheers. Like
cheers.
I should have...
Salute.
So easy, but that's it.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.